Hey everyone, welcome back. When you sent me all this material on Sarus cranes, I had no idea how much there was to learn about these birds.
Yeah, they're pretty incredible creatures.
So we're doing a deep dive today, all about Sarus cranes, the world's tallest flying bird.
That's right, up to 6 feet tall.
I mean, that's taller than most people. I can only imagine what it'd be like to see one in person.
They are really something else. Grus Antigone is their scientific name.
Gris Antigone, all right,
Yeah.
got it. I'm already learning new stuff. So where can we find these majestic birds?
Well, they love wetlands, marshes, yeah, but also think rice paddies, grasslands, anywhere they can find enough water and food, basically.
Oh yeah, speaking of food, what do they eat? Just fish, right?
Actually, they're omnivores.
Oh really?
Yeah, they're not picky. Aquatic plants, seeds, grains, they'll even eat insects and small animals sometimes.
Ah, so they're pretty adaptable.
Exactly. Being able to eat all sorts of things helps them survive in all kinds of environments. But, that also makes them more vulnerable, right? Because if one food source gets messed up, it can really impact them.
That's a good point. It's all connected, isn't it?
Mhm.
Okay, so they're tall, they live in wetlands, they're not picky eaters.
Mhm.
What else? What else is super cool about these birds?
Well, have you ever heard about their courtship rituals?
Oh, yeah. That was fascinating. In your research, you said they're like super romantic. They mate for life, right?
Right. Their courtship displays are amazing to see. It's all synchronized. They have these special calls that echo across the wetlands. And the way they leap and dance together, it's like watching a ballet.
Wow. A wetland ballet. That's a new one. So they mate for life, but what happens if, like, one of them dies? Do they stay alone forever?
It's very rare, but they will find a new mate if their partner dies.
Right. That makes sense. They have to keep going. But this whole mating for life thing, it's not just about biology, right?
Definitely not.
In India, the Sarus crane is like a cultural icon.
Absolutely. Especially in India, it's seen as this symbol of marital fidelity, love, a good marriage.
Yeah, and you mentioned it pops up in Hindu scriptures, folklore, all
Well,
that.
all over the place. They represent longevity, blessings, all sorts of good things.
So it's like a symbol of hope and happy endings, kind of.
You could say that, yes. And this reverence for Sarus cranes, it's not just an ancient thing either. You still see them in art, literature, even today.
So they're still relevant, even now. It's
Yeah.
like protecting them isn't just about saving a species, it's about protecting a whole cultural heritage.
Exactly. But that's a real challenge these days.
Yeah, because unfortunately, Sarus cranes are facing some pretty serious threats.
Definitely.
I mean, you sent over some numbers, and it's pretty concerning.
Yeah, their numbers are declining. Habitat loss is a big one, wetlands being drained for development or converted for agriculture.
That makes sense. If they don't have a home, they can't survive.
Right. And then there's pollution, climate change, messing with water resources. Even things like power lines are a hazard for them.
Oh, yeah, I remember reading about that. Collisions with power lines can be a real problem.
And in some places, illegal hunting is still a threat.
Seriously.
Even though they're protected by law, yeah, hunting still happens.
That's awful. It's like people don't realize, or maybe they just don't care, how important these birds are.
Well, hopefully we can change that. There are a lot of people working really hard to protect them.
Yeah, what are some of the things people are doing to help?
Well, a lot of organizations are creating protected areas, specifically for the Sarus crane, making sure they have safe places to live and breed.
Makes sense. Safe havens for cranes.
And community-based programs are really important
Oh,
too.
yeah. Educating people about them.
Right. Spreading awareness, encouraging people to do things that help the birds and their habitat.
I read about some of those programs. It's inspiring to see communities coming together like that. It's like they understand that protecting the Sarus crane isn't just about the bird itself. It's about protecting the whole ecosystem.
Exactly. Healthy wetlands are good for everyone, people and wildlife. It's all connected.
It really is. So protecting the Sarus crane is, in a way, protecting ourselves too. It's
Yep.
all about finding that balance, right? Between human needs and the needs of the natural world.
Absolutely. And that brings up a pretty big question. In places where the Sarus crane is so deeply revered, how can we bridge that cultural reverence with modern conservation practices? How can we use both to ensure their survival?
That's a really good question. It's something to think about. And, it makes me realize how much we still have to learn about these amazing birds.
We've only just scratched the surface.
So for everyone listening, if you want to learn more about the Sarus crane and how to help protect them, we'll have some links in the show notes to some amazing organizations doing really important work. Every little bit helps. Let's make sure these majestic birds continue to grace our skies for generations to come.
I couldn't agree more.
Thanks for joining us for this deep dive into the world of the Sarus Crane. See you next time.
See you then.